And the other question I get asked a lot is if we're having any more kids or if we're done. And the answer is...
You caught a fish!
Welcome back to my channel. If you're new to my channel, my name is Sarah. I've been getting a lot of questions about my pregnancies and how being pregnant with each of the boys were and how we came up with their names. And then also we've been asked quite a bit if we're having another baby, if we're gonna go for number 4. So wanted to jump on here and answer some questions for you guys. So Logan is the oldest. He's going to be 7 in May. With him, he was not planned. I was told I could not have children, so I cried. I called my mom and I cried again, and then I went to my mom's work and then I cried again. I was just upset with myself because, you know, I had plans. I was 24, so I was not mentally prepared to have a baby, but we did it. I was sick from probably the week before I found out I was pregnant to when I delivered. With Logan, I think I gained in total 25 pounds, which isn't that much, but I started heavier with him. I went into preterm labor with him at 29 weeks. I had to get shots, go to the hospital every week for NST, and then I got put on bed rest from 29 weeks to when I delivered at 41 weeks. My water broke naturally. One of the most disgusting feelings in the whole world. So we are delivering at Sierra Vista, so we jump in the car. My little sister's here from Wyoming. She wasn't living here at the time. And I wanted to take a shower, but my mom told me no, because my mom's labors were really quick, so she was kind of afraid I was going to be the same way. I was definitely not. I was in labor with Logan for 13 hours, and then he stopped breathing. So our doctor came in and pretty much said, I can't force you to have a C-section, but otherwise your baby's gonna die, so we need to have a C-section. Which I cried again because I didn't want to have a C-section. My mom actually went back into the C-section with me, which, if you guys know my mother, love you mom, is stressful. But it turned out fine. Logan was born 6 pounds, 13 ounces. They had anticipated that he was going to be around 9 pounds, but he had tied the umbilical cord around his neck, but not in it, so he wasn't getting full nutrients. They think probably the last 4 or 5 weeks of pregnancy. The name Logan, so Logan's name was actually going to be Lucas originally. I had a friend at work, we're sitting there talking about baby names, and I'm like, I want something like nerdy, you know, that has some meaning behind it, but that isn't like I didn't want to name my son like Frodo Baggins, like not like that. And then so we started scrimmaging through names, and Logan came up, and I'm like, oh, I love that name, like Wolverine. He goes, yeah, it's like the perfect name. So there's how we got Logan. And his middle name is Martin, after my dad and his father. I had Logan C-section. They found out that I had stage 4 endometriosis, which is why, if you guys know me personally, you guys know I lost a pregnancy late term at 15 weeks in 2010, so it's a while ago. A little boy that we named Gabriel. We lost him, and they never figured out why. It was the first miscarriage. No, nothing done, but when I had Logan C-section, they saw the endometriosis. They told me they have no idea how Logan stuck, like that he was a miracle baby, that I should have miscarried him because there was really no room for him in there. But if I wouldn't have had a C-section, I would have never found it, so it's kind of a miracle. But so I got fully scraped out after Logan. Keikoa. So Keikoa was planned. We started talking about having another baby in November because of the endometriosis. My doctor told me I had a kind of a small timeline, so we decided we'd start planning right away. I wanted my kids to be close together anyways, so here we are. Started trying in November, and then we found out we were pregnant with Keikoa in January. Keikoa was an easy pregnancy. Other than that, I had migraines pretty much the whole pregnancy. I had the worst headaches the whole time. When Keikoa was born, I had a scheduled C-section. They were afraid of me VBACing just because of they noticed I have extra amniotic fluid. I carry too much. So they decided, let's just do another C-section, which I just wanted a healthy baby, so I didn't care. We delivered him 39 weeks, 4 days. As soon as he came out, he was not breathing very well. He was having a really hard time. He had ingested a bunch of amniotic fluid. So they rushed him straight to the NICU. I didn't get to see him until he was connected to a bunch of tubing and stuff, which I'll post that right here. He was born 7 pounds, 14 ounces. Pretty big for considering that he had a bunch of health issues. He was in the NICU for 19 days. Probably the longest 19 days of my life. And then when he came out, he was just the cutest, sweetest little monkey. For those of you guys who haven't followed us, that's our eczema warrior. That's the one that has a lot of health issues now. Keikoa means the warrior, and that was the name that my husband had picked out. It was something that he's wanted his whole life. Wasn't going to argue with him. It was his first son, so there we go. His middle name is Henry, which is my husband's name and his grandfather's name. And then Vincent. Vincent was planned. I wanted him to be 2 years apart, just like the other one. So we started trying for Vincent in August of 2016. We found out we were pregnant on New Year's Eve of 2016. He was probably the easiest pregnancy that you could ever possibly have. I never got sick. I didn't show until like 30 weeks. Back to Vincent. He dropped Slothy off with me. I'm not really quite sure. This is his baby. My dad got it for him for Christmas 2 Christmases ago. And for some reason he attached himself to it, and it's disgusting. Like, look at it. It doesn't even have stuffing in it anymore. So anyways, I guess Slothy's sitting with me. So Vincent, super easy, didn't feel pregnant, didn't get sick. I did get pulled off work at 32 weeks. Because just like the other 2 kids, I carried way too much amniotic fluid. I think with Vincent, I ended up having 4 times the amount of amniotic fluid that I was supposed to. So I had to have like NSTs done every week. And I had ultrasounds done once every 2 weeks to measure the fluid level. Yeah, I gained 65 pounds, and I think 40 of it had to have been fluid because the weight came. I think I lost the weight with him in like 2 weeks. I delivered him scheduled C-section, just like the other 2. And he was 8 pounds, 14 ounces, and he was a week early. We delivered him at 39 weeks. We also delivered at Sierra Vista with a NICU team ready, just because of my history with Keikoa. But we didn't need it. He came out perfectly healthy. He came out latched on perfectly fine, like skin to skin. He did have a poop on me right when he came out, which was beautiful. Super easy. I was up walking the day I had him after C-section. It was just like the easiest. I would do his pregnancy 150 times over a day. Once we found out we were having another boy, I just kind of passed the torch to Cruz, my husband, and I told him, you can name him because I don't want to. It took me forever to come up with a boy name with Logan. He threw a couple names at me. Dante and Virgil, I think, were the 2 that he really liked, and I said no. So then he told me Vincent, and I'm like, that was the one that we could agree on. His middle name is Robert, after my husband's grandfather. If I could choose, I would do his pregnancy 500 times over again. I always get asked if I knew Keikoa was going to be this sick, if I would have still had him. And the answer is yes. Mostly just because every kid's different. I mean, there's no telling you, you know, that because I have one sick kid, then I'm going to have another one, which clearly that's not what happened. So Vincent's perfectly healthy. He's a butterball. He's freaking fat. He's like weighs the same as Keikoa. Eats more than Keikoa. And then the other question I get asked a lot is if we're having any more kids or if we're done. And the answer is, I don't know. I would like one more. Do we have room for one more? Probably not at this moment in time. My car's big enough. A big factor in having another baby is Keikoa. We had to invest so much time, especially last year when he went septic and was in the hospital for a month. We had to invest so much time in that I don't know if I could have done it pregnant or with a newborn. I mean, Vincent was he was only a 1, but I feel like it's something we go back and forth on. Like I said, I want another one. I have names picked out. I'm like, I'm ready. And if we do, like, we'll document it and you guys can see with us, go through the pregnancy with us. But at this point in time in our lives, like, we have so much stuff going on in our lives that it would be stupid for us to get pregnant right now. I mean, if it's what God wants and we end up pregnant, then so be it. But we're doing what we need to prevent it. I would like another one, I guess. I mean, I've always wanted a big family. Growing up, I wanted 6 kids. And then I had 3 boys in a row, and I'm like, 6 is a little much. I think 4 would be good. And plus, I've had C-sections, so we were actually going to be done after Vincent. The plan was for me to get a hysterectomy and be done. And my doctor said, oh, you've healed really well. You can have 1 more C-section. So then that's when we both kind of looked at each other and we're like, well, you know. And it was really my husband. I had signed all the paperwork, but he was like, you know, that's really permanent, and I know how much you want another one. Like, I don't want you to look back in a few years and then be regretting your decision to not have another one because you thought it was right at the time, but then, you know, it's permanent. Like, after it's done, like after I have a hysterectomy, it's done. So, like, you can't go back and fix that type thing. So he was right. So the answer, are we gonna have baby number 4? The answer is yes, we want to. Is it going to happen for sure? Can't guarantee it. I'm really tired, guys. I've been working a lot. That's why I've there's kind of a big gap between this video and the last one. As I filmed this video 3 times, just so you guys know. And I'm just exhausted because I've been working a lot, you know, taking the kids here and there, doing what I need to do. So that's another thing. Having another baby would be really hard just because of my work schedule. I would have to quit my job, and I love my job. So stay tuned for a wet wrap video. We're going to be doing that pretty soon. I've been asked to do that, to get that one done by quite a few people, on how to properly do wet wraps for eczema. We do have a lot of stuff planned this month. The kids don't know, but we're going to town.
Subscribe and hit the bell.
And like it, maybe.
And like it.
And comment.
And comment down below if you want to see more of these videos.
Okay. So don't forget, like, subscribe, share, and we'll catch you guys later. Bye-bye.